So we've got everything bead blasted, so let's have a look at it now. Now you'll see the real importance of why I bead blast initially. You can remember what some of these parts looked like before they were bead blasted, and we could tell that they were pitted, but the difference is really amazing of what they look like once they're bead blasted. Let's see if I can get in a little, take my time, get this camera to focus. You're really going to see what I'm talking about here. There we go. There we go. Starting to focus in now. You can see that piece was, we knew it was pitted, but now you can see just how pitted it is. It's really pitted. This can be saved. This piece could be saved. I could file those pits out of there. Depending on how much a replacement would cost, it might be cheaper. I could see an easy hour, at least an hour, of filing and polishing to get this piece looking good again. You know, it's definitely got some issues. You know, we're not worried about the inside, you know, as long as it's functional. This is another Springfield Armory part, by the way. So almost everything in this gun is Springfield Armory other than the receiver and maybe a few small pieces, but you can see the pitting all the way along that edge there. Get that to focus. Look at that. So, you know, it's pretty eaten away. I mean, look at how bad it is there. So really, in all honesty, I would say buy another one. These aren't that hard to find, so I wouldn't bother really fixing that piece. You know, we could do the outside, fix the outside up, but, you know, that's your call. Just showing you the parts. We knew this piece was going to be scrap, but I just wanted you to show once again what a difference bead blasting makes. Just look at that. Look at that pitted, that whole edge is eaten away. There's nothing left. There's that hole that was in it, and you could just you can see right through it. And even the heat retainer, the heat shield there, it's, you know, it's scrap. They say we were looking through that a minute ago. You could see right through the bloody thing. So that's another scrap piece. This piece, it was quite pitted. You know, we could see it was pitted, but now that it's been bead blasted, it's once again it's even worse. And these pieces are common enough that it's not worth it for me to repair them and charge you to metal finish. It's cheaper for you to just go buy a part, as long as it isn't too expensive, and we'll just substitute. So, because this thing here, it's, I mean, look at all that edge is eaten away, and you know, it'd be a bit of work trying to save it. So once again, I wouldn't bother saving that piece. So there's two for sure that are scrap. This one here, maybe, we're not sure yet. Let's look these pieces over. There was that sling swivel that I knew was pitted, but once again, it's a sling swivel. It's not a critical piece, but if you want the gun to look nice, you know, once again, not an expensive piece or a hard piece to find, but just giving you the option. But you can see how nice it is once you bead blast it. It's got that nice shimmer, that shine, so you can really see the pits. Just stands out. So to me, my opinion, scrap. Here's that safety we looked at earlier. It's another Springfield Armory part. Now the pitting that's up on the higher part that goes up inside the gun, you know, we're not that concerned about that. It'll still function fine. But it's that lower stuff right there. You just see how pitted that is, how eaten away. Once again, not worth saving. Common piece, easy to replace. Look how pitted it is on that backside. Terrible. So we're not going to bother. We're going to get another piece. So that goes in the scrap pile as well. Boom. Okay, what do we got now? Trigger guard. All right, well this piece isn't too bad. Not bad. It's got a couple issues, but nothing. I could save that. It's pitted all right, but we could get those out of there. Or if you wanted to, you could get a nice machined one, milled one. You know, World War I milled one, or sorry, World War II milled one. That would be even nicer. But this one's not bad. It could be saved. A few marks in it, but not bad. We'll put that with the iffy parts. Sight base, we knew it had a little bit of some minor pitting. You can see it now. Not a hard piece to fix. Got no real major issues on the back there. So, you know, a little bit of file work. That's one that I think we could probably save. That's you know, once again, we'll put it in that pile. If you can get it one cheap enough, then we'll replace it. But if you can't, we'll save it. And we got this piece. We knew this was a scrap piece, but I just wanted to show you once again what the bead blasting will open up. Remember how rusted it was on the inside? Look at that. Just terrible. Just nothing left. Nothing left. Just the whole side's eaten away. The whole edge is eaten away. So, scrapola. Oh yeah, this sight base. Remember that had some front sight. It had some, looked like it had rust on it. I was pretty sure, but look at that. It's horrible. Once that sand hits it, boy, it just explodes. Just nothing good about this piece. Nothing. It's just scrap from one end to the other. Pitted everywhere. Pitted on the inside, pitted on the outside, you name it. So, we know what pile this one's going into. Once again, just pick up another one. They're not that much money. Cheaper than me trying to fix this. So, anyway, see ya. Clip latch. Alright, clip latch isn't bad. A little bit of pitting right there on that edge, but not bad. Decent. Got some machining marks in it, but that's no big deal. We'll take care of that. Get this to focus in. There you go. We'll get that. I can clean that one up. That's not a big deal. Don't need to buy a piece. Those pits are a little deep right there on that edge, but I can get those out of there. No problem. The rest of it is pretty good. So we'll save that piece. I mean, once again, if you can get one for $5 or $10, then get it. But all right, this piece, we saw a little bit of pitting on this piece before we started, but now that we've got it disassembled and bead blasted, you can see along this edge right here all the pitting that's going on. Impossible to repair. Can't possibly get in there and fix that properly. And it's so thin to begin with that there's really not much material here to file. So, fairly common, easy to replace. So, scrapola. And let's see, we've got this ferrule, this stock ferrule. Not a lot of pitting going on, but a bit. But it's got issues, dings and dents. It's bent a little bit. You can see some pitting along that back edge there. You know, not that pretty. Sling swivel's not too bad. And it's got a little bit of pitting on it, but you could get one for a decent price. You know, it's like I say, it's not great, but it's usable. I mean, you got quite a few issues along in there, and you know the metal's only so thick. It's even got some corrosion along the edge, so I don't know. If it was my gun, I would replace it, but you know, we'll put it in the maybe pile. And then the last piece was the op rod, and we knew the op rod had some issues, but let's just have a better look at it here. See, once again, that bead blast just opens up. Look at that. There's no way that you would have thought that was that bad before we bead blasted it. No way. But the glass bead just opens up every sin. Look at that. And these are hardened. This op rod is a hardened piece, so it would have to be annealed and rehardened, which costs money. Look at that. Just terrible. Also the top, and that's all visible, so that's a lot of filing. Plus the cost of annealing it and reheat treating it. I don't think it's worth it. But anyway, just letting you know. So in my opinion, this piece is scrap. If it wasn't hardened, I mean, even up in there you can see the pitting, and that's visible. That would actually need weld. That would have to be welded, and that's going to add even more cost. So in my opinion, it's scrap. Just a scrap piece. So, but just letting you know. So, if that was me, I'd put that in that pile right there. So, for sure, you're going to need these pieces. For sure, no question about it. These pieces aren't worth saving. There you go. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces that for sure are going to need replacing. And then we got another, you know, what, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that need, you know, they could be saved, but I don't know if it's worth it. You know, this piece is not a big deal, and this piece isn't a big deal, and this piece isn't a big deal. But that piece, like I say, I don't know. Dealing with quite a bit of pitting there. You know, that edge here is all chewed away, and just quite a bit of effort for a piece that's fairly easy to replace. So, but I'll have to let you make that decision. So, I'd say probably don't bother. And then this piece, it's hard to work on this piece, and like I say, we got a fair bit of damage, and the metal itself isn't even that thick. So, you know, my opinion, if you can get all these parts cheap enough, you know, I'm going to have a couple hours easy, couple hours of filing and polishing to get the marks out of these parts, just these parts, couple hours. So you're looking at, you know, around $100 or so right there. So if you can get these parts used for a little bit less than that, or even for that same money, you know, then you'd have a part that hasn't been filed and adulterated. We can save anything, but an original nice part is more preferable. But if it's a rare unit, then we can understand we're going to save these parts, but these aren't rare. So anyway, I will let you make your decision, and at least you get an idea now of what we're dealing with, and how much work it's going to take to save. You know, even that piece, you know, it's, once again, it's salvageable, but every inch would have to be filed, and the cost would just be, and once again, you've got a stamped one. It'd be nice to have a milled one. If you're going to get one anyway, you may as well get a milled one. But, so that's it. It gives you an idea of what stuff looks like after it's been bead blasted. You can see how handy that is to do it that way. So I'm going to see what the customer wants to do, and I will be back. All right.